Hey guys, welcome. So I can't actually play anything recognizable because that's a rule here on censored social media. So I can't actually play, even though it's improvised. I'm actually not allowed to play anything that you can recognize, or at least the AI can recognize. So yeah, so you can't recognize that, and I certainly won't tell you what that could have been if I played the melody, which I did not. I did not play the melody. So hey guys, so yeah, so I do have a jazz channel. Nobody really cares about that, but it's on the related channels listed on this channel. You see the related channels. There's two of them. I have a sailing channel, and then the jazz channel, but unfortunately there's no gigs right now, so yeah, so there's very few places to play, so not too many gigs that I can play music in. So sometimes I just have a jam session here. I haven't had one in a while, not in 2022. So anyway, and then of course I'm been a long time sailor, yacht racer. Actually, I've been racing sailboats for, a long time. Almost as long, not quite as long, but almost as long as I've been doing programming. Not quite, but actually pretty close. So some people say, do I know what I'm doing? Yeah, I think so, because I've been doing it a long time. So, and not just doing it a long time, but hopefully doing it well, winning yacht races. So, because I've been doing it, kind of off and on for so many years. So, welcome, guys. How about classics? You can't play anything. You can't play anything that's recognizable here. So, if I play something, I guess you could probably play some Chopin and stuff, but I don't do that. So, uh, 70 years cause and effect. I've been playing for 70 years. I've been programming for 70 years. So, anyway, guys, so the topic tonight is going to be, actually, this comes in response to the comments on my last video. And I'm actually surprised at how gullible most people are. I mean, the gullibility is just incredible. I mean, basically, if Apple tells you they do X, you said, I believe them. I believe Apple. If Amazon says they do X, oh yeah, I guess these Echoes are very safe, and the Siri and all this, and Facebook. Yeah, Facebook is safe too, because Zuck says it's safe. So I can tell you for a fact that it's not, and that's why, I'm happy to note that he lost 25% of his value, which is fantastic. So if it's because he's not growing or losing users, then it's a very, very good sign. It means the world is not hopeless after all. Because the hopelessness it's very, very sad, because it's like we don't have any control, and we're gonna be buried by the sheeple. The sheeple will cause us, the people who are interested in privacy. It's not going to be about us. We're going to be spied on by other devices. I've always wondered, like, people were so enamored with Facebook, and Facebook was going to come up with facial recognition. They're going to put it on the phone. They canceled that, fortunately. But the plan was to put facial recognition in the cloud on the phone, so somebody could just point the camera of the phone at you, and you would be recognized on Facebook, and they say, oh, there's your profile, know your name. And then I can track you from there. So it's really, really, really stupid that we would trust any of these big tech companies. So I'm going to talk to you about, some of the ways they can lie, because there's so many of them. I don't even know where to start. I mean, just to give you an example. Let's start with a company that's not even on my list. It's not on the description. But Zoom. Let's talk about Zoom. So for many years, people were saying, oh, Zoom is safe. Why is Zoom safe? Oh, because it's end-to-end encrypted. And then the company actually published publicly that it was on their website that they were end-to-end encrypted. And any cybersecurity person will look at that and start to wonder what they really mean, because it is not likely that it's end-to-end encrypted, and the problem is just the way video actually works. If you're going to use a standard codec, a coder decoder on your phone, like one of the regular ones to use video, like MPEG and MOV files, all of these different file formats, you need to be compatible with those codecs. If not, then you won't be able to do anything unless you make your own codec and license your own. And that's usually beyond the expertise of most companies to invent a new codec. It's very, very specialized field. So it wasn't likely that a Zoom would be encrypted. And sure enough, this is what actually happened. So they got called out by cybersecurity folks, including me. I actually had videos about that. And they justified end-to-end encryption to mean, this is just the stupidity of this, they actually justified the meaning of end-to-end encryption to be that your computer is encrypted up to their server, which is really called transport encryption. You're encrypted in transport, which is basically just standard HTTPS, like your standard stuff on your browser. That HTTPS is encryption in transit, meaning they're not really doing anything special. They were just using HTTPS, and they're claiming that they were, in fact, end-to-end encrypted, which is completely false. Because what happens to your video is that your video enters the server at Zoom, and then Zoom then has to replicate the video so that other people can see it. So they have to do a transcoding. That's what it's called. So they take your original input from your device. They have to transcode it into various sized resolution videos so that anyone with a different device can watch it. That transcoding has to happen in the open. You can't encrypt that. And so they were caught out with that lie. And so no, Zoom was not end-to-end encrypted. And that goes the same with Apple. Apple, another big lie that you've always believed, because Apple is the privacy company for years. For years they've stated that iMessage was end-to-end encrypted. I don't know how many times I've heard this. People tell me, oh, I trust iMessage because iMessage is end-to-end encrypted. What a crock of BS. What a crock of BS, okay? iMessage has no end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption means the sender and the receiver are the only two people that can see the traffic. How come then that, and this is very obvious, you do a text message on the phone, and the text message has to be transported to iMessage. So even then, it's out in the open on the first leg until until it recognizes that you're both on iMessage. And then when it gets to iMessage, and then of course Apple has to send that to whoever, to the recipient. And one of the screwiest things that revealed is not end-to-end encrypted is that if you have a Mac, your Mac will actually get the SMS message. Anything in your iCloud account will get the copy of an SMS message, not just on the device. So it means that if all the devices are getting it unencrypted and decrypting it automatically, where the heck is the decryption key? And as it turns out, Apple has always had the decryption key. They keep it on iCloud. So, just to show you some of the lies that have occurred, and the people this has been, the Apple fans are just so adamant about this. I don't know what to say. This Find My Phone BS. They try to justify, and they say I'm wrong. And there's really no justification for it, because I am right. And in fact, there are documents that say that there are certain things you cannot turn off on an iPhone. One of them is what is called Wi-Fi scanning. Well, why does Wi-Fi scanning? Wi-Fi scanning is actually connected to Find My Phone. So what is Wi-Fi scanning? And actually, this is a problem also on Google Androids. Wi-Fi scanning is when your phone looks for all the Wi-Fi's near you, then takes your GPS position, and then it sends that data over to Google, to Apple, to whoever, mostly Google and Apple, and that is used to map the positioning of every Wi-Fi router in existence. Now, why is that important? Because that's how they do Wi-Fi triangulation. If they know the position of every Wi-Fi router, then all they need is the router near you, and they can get your position on a PC without a GPS. They can do things without a GPS because of this Wi-Fi triangulation. But to collect this data, to build a database, they need to collect the Wi-Fi data, which is the MAC address of the Wi-Fi and the GPS position of your device. And that data goes to Apple. And somebody said, well, they don't do that. You can turn it off. How the heck do they turn that off? Somebody said to me in the various comments on the video, I turned off Wi-Fi. And I'm asking a question. How did you turn off Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is part of the motherboard. How do you turn it off? There's no power switch to the Wi-Fi. It's not a separate module. Just like Bluetooth is not a separate module. It is part of the phone. So when you go to airplane mode, which is actually the equivalent of turning Wi-Fi off, airplane mode. So there was a study. The study is very old now. Maybe 7 years ago. I can't remember now. It was a university. And they had a laboratory, and they actually set the phones down. And they tracked iPhones and Androids and so on. And they could see that each iPhone was emitting a Wi-Fi probe, which is a common thing that anyone in cybersecurity knows, that your Wi-Fi emits this probe signal. Okay, you can even track it. You can track it if you have, you know, Wireshark. And I have some other tools, like I have something called Scapy, and you can actually see and track the probes. And there's a specific format to that probe message in the RF signal, and that probe is always active even when airplane mode is not running. So even when you're in airplane mode, so you can see the lie right there. So they're saying, oh, you actually can turn something off. Well, you can't turn it off. You can't turn it off. So and here's the other part to this. You say, well, you know, they don't take my identity. No, that's another thing that's always wrong. The Find My Phone. Find My Phone. So Find My Phone on your, I don't have an iPhone, but not here. But the iPhone emits a Find My Phone probe or ping. It pings the central server of Apple that announces the serial number of the device and the GPS position, which is going to be stored in the Apple database. So that gets stored in the Apple database. And I don't know how often this happens. Let's just assume it's every few seconds. Well, obviously, some Apple could say, well, we don't identify you with the phone. We don't identify you when we track locations of the phone. Well, true enough, because they're going to say, well, we track the serial number, but you know, we don't record it's you. So how does it become you? Well, you go to your iCloud and you match the serial number of the device during your login to the phone, and then it matches the serial number to your iCloud, and then they say, see, look, we don't see that, and then they encrypt that, supposedly. See, we don't see that, so we don't know who owns the phone, which is so much bullshit, really. They have the encryption mechanism. They can decrypt at any time they want. And maybe the lower levels don't have access to that. Some higher level could. I mean, it's in the database. So every phone in existence is tracked with GPS location every few seconds. This is true of all Apple devices. And you're going to tell me, oh, no, Apple promised that they're not going to track it. So they said, Apple AirTag is a unique identifier. And so Apple AirTag is not going to be tracked because it's a unique identifier and it's randomly generated. Now, this is such a big BS right there. Who cares if an Apple AirTag number or ID is randomly generated? It has your zucking GPS position. And you just sent a Find My Phone with a GPS position and your serial number, and you're telling me they can't match those two. We keep it separate. We keep it separate, so we don't see that. Oh yeah, so you're really going to believe this? So they have the data, but you're going to say, oh, we trust Apple. They're not going to look at it. Well, this is the same zucking trust that Edward Snowden experienced with Obama. So Obama said. This is during the time of Snowden, because, Obama was caught flat-footed with the revelation of mass surveillance by three-letter agencies of American citizens, which is not allowed by law. This is a law. You cannot spy on U.S. citizens. And, of course, what is the reality? The reality is, this is what Obama said. No, we don't look at your data. And so this is the kind of way that they parse this. This is the zucking lie that Obama was saying. We collect your data. We collect your data. But we're not going to look at it. We're going to close our eyes and act like we don't see it. Or we're going to collect it all. But because we did not look at it, then we can say to you, Obama will say, well, I didn't look at it. So I didn't spy on you. I didn't look at it. Yeah, right. So the actual rule is that if you're supposed to look at something, you're supposed to relate to what potential violation of law could be committed that requires this kind of investigation. And then they have to log it. And this is something that I mentioned before. This is so easily done because all they have to do is do what is called a degrees of separation. So this was actually in the Snowden movie where they were looking at a some Middle Eastern banker, Saudi, I can't remember now, but all they had to do was say, okay, who's related to this banker? First degree of separation, friends of the banker, friends of the banker, second degree, friends of friends of friends of the banker, and so on. By the time you get to 3 degrees of separation, you're already in the millions. By the time you get to four levels of separation, you're already what? It's probably 5 degrees of separation. You have a couple 100 million. So yeah, that's all they need. They just justify. Oh, we're looking for these people, and so we're going to be searching. And what do they use the data for in the three-letter agency for? And the law prevents this. They used it to spy on their girlfriends and relatives and enemies and so on. This is, agents of the three-letter agencies. And we say, oh, we don't care. We don't care. Here's another one. Oh, we don't actually, we don't listen to your voice messages on Amazon Echo or Siri or Google Analytics. Now, you have to read the fine print. Fine print says they collect that, your voice records, for as long as they want. It's on there. They collect that for as long as they want. And they say, well, we never sell that data. Okay. They never sell that data. There's a provision, by the way, if you go down lower in the rules, unless required by law. Unless we're required by law. So in other words, yeah, we're not going to sell the data to Google, but if Palantir wants that data, because Palantir is a contract with the federal government, I guess we're forced to, because by law, we need to follow the law with respect to the Patriot Act. So yeah, we can ask Apple, Google, Amazon for that data on Ring cameras that they collect. In fact, they openly say that law enforcement can collect the data on Ring cameras and Ring videos, and you can do facial recognition and find anything in there. And it's open to law enforcement, and they actually publicized that. They said if law enforcement promotes the use of Ring, then law enforcement can use Ring for free, Ring data for free. They publicly say that. They have contracts with various police agencies to promote this. And so they have a spy device now. All of you with Ring cameras are providing spying for various government agencies, and it's in the centralized database, and we say, it's okay. It's okay. So we lie after lie after lie. We get this from all these players. It's like, Facebook said that your data is private on Facebook. And I can prove to you in so many ways that I can retrieve anybody's data on Facebook. I don't really care what kind of privacy setting you have. I can retrieve it. I've proven this so many times before. I can even find your email address on Facebook. Now, I don't have a Facebook account anymore, so I can't do it anymore. But because I'm not interested in that. But when I was doing it, it was so easy. And people were hiding, and you find somebody on Facebook because everyone uses their real name, and you say, okay, what's this person all about? And you can find out their politics, their race, their sexual orientation, and preferences, and just about anything you want to find out, you can find out on Zucking Zuckbook. And Facebook says, oh, we're good company, we're honest. That's why we were tracking MAC addresses. Wow. Facebook tracking MAC addresses of your local area networks so they can spot your Zucking phones, so that anywhere you go, they can recognize the Zucking MAC address. Why were they doing this? On their data policy, they said, oh, we collect this because we're trying to determine what kind of devices you have as far as media device, meaning TV devices. Yeah, right. Yep. And so here we are. Apple said, "Oh, we don't we don't have an identifier or an AirTag," and you fucking believe that. And you've never heard of the thing called side channel attack. You do not attack the main data. So yes, they can actually do that. They if they say they encrypt the Apple AirTag traffic, actually the AirTag traffic is encrypted. That is known because BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy, is in fact encrypted. So that leg is already encrypted. Then it goes to the iPhone, and they said, well, we sent a random identifier to send it to Apple so that we spot the location of the AirTag. Be that as it may, even if this were true, it doesn't make any difference because Find My Phone can match the specific GPS positioning, and it knows it's the same fucking phone. Side channel. Yeah, you can always say, well, the primary channel with the AirTag is clean, but I'm not going to tell you about the side channel. And that's the stuff, guys, we entrust so much with big tech. We trust them. We trust that they're not listening to your phone conversations. You trust that they're not listening to your Siri or your Amazon Echo stuff. When the fact of the matter is that they can parse the words and say, well, we don't keep the recordings. Actually, they do keep the recording, but we don't keep the transcriptions. Okay, let's say you don't keep the transcriptions. What happened to the recordings? So Apple doesn't even have a limit. It says, we keep it as long as necessary. Same with Google. Apple, in actual research, an independent researcher said that Apple kept it for 6 months, that Amazon and Google actually never deleted the voice. So now you go to Echo, Amazon Echo, and you say, well, you could remove the voice messages that were captured on Amazon Echo and then give you a screen and do all that. But that's the transcription. You see what I'm talking about here, guys? So without, you can parse the words and they say, oh yeah, we delete the transcription, but what happened to the source data? What happened to the source data? There's so many places to lie. There's so many places to convince you that they're actually doing good for you. And you actually believe this. When, of course, the reason that you have to trust Amazon Echo is if you don't trust Amazon Echo, nobody will buy it. If you don't trust an iPhone, nobody will buy an iPhone. If nobody trusts an AirTag, nobody would buy an AirTag. So they have to create this illusion that you can trust these devices. Well, I'm telling you right now, no, you cannot trust these devices. You cannot trust these devices. There's always a loophole there. The most common loophole is unless required by law. Okay, that's main loophole. If the law says, well, you need to collect it. Oh, I guess we have to collect it because by law, as required by law. Okay, so government, it's like the client-side scanning. So Apple said, oh, we're going to do client-side scanning. And then they got bad press for it because of the stupidity of it all, right? And then the three-letter agency said, no. You are not going to get rid of Wi-Fi scanning. We want that. You put that zucking thing back. Now, what is Apple going to do? Say, well, we don't know how to do Wi-Fi scanning. Can't lie now. Can't lie. You publicly stated you can do client-side scanning. Not Wi-Fi scanning, client-side scanning. You publicly claimed you can spot CSAM images, meaning you can spot any image on the phone. You publicly claimed that. You can't take it back. Oh, Apple is holding back now on this. Sure, that's what they're going to say in the press. But the reality is, could a three-letter agency force them to activate it anyway and use it for any other purpose? And obviously the answer is yes. Am I being a conspiracy theorist for saying this? Guys, the world is full of examples of this. This is actually required by law. They have to subject themselves to the Patriot Act. The spying called PRISM, the PRISM program that Snowden revealed, was when Verizon and Sprint and all these companies collected, AT&T collected all of your data and centralized every phone call so that they could pull that data out. And that's now also a copy of that is kept in the DCIS Zucking BI database. And then there's another one with voice printing. I don't know who does voice printing, because in a sense it is illegal for the National Zucking Agency to be collecting people's voice prints. But the reality is they can keep it in private enterprise. In other words, they can have a contract with private companies to keep the data for three-letter agencies. And there's the three-letter agency can say, hands off, hey, that's not our data. We're just renting it. That's not our data. So what is exactly the motive of Apple? Well, I have no idea, but I'm going to tell you, Palantir isn't going broke. Palantir is one of the biggest users of this data. Where are they getting this data? Well, obviously, it's being sent to them. So, okay, you can be, trustworthy and so on, and trust all of this information you're getting from the big tech. And if so, then perhaps you shouldn't really be on this channel. Because I can talk about this all day, and you're not going to believe me. Because you say you trust Apple. Oh, my gosh, they're the best. Oh, they're the privacy company. It's like, suck. You really think that they did client-side scanning because of CSAM? I'll get back to that in a moment. Let me continue. But before I do that, let me take a sponsor break. And my sponsor is Linode. So if any of you do servers and you're looking for even websites, and you're looking for a company that can supply you your server, your website, and you probably want the one with the best price and best tech support and one of the easiest to deal with, right? Well, look no further. My favorite cloud service provider is Linode. And I am a huge user of Linode. I have 90% of my servers are now on Linode. So I got a lot. I still have some on Amazon, still have some elsewhere, but 90% of them are on Linode. And saving lots of money because of it. Plus, it's so reliable that I never have to worry about it. So if you're looking for a like a Linux server or a website or WordPress or Nextcloud or your own Jitsi server or whatever you feel like doing, set it up on Linode. They actually have apps already pre-made, so you don't even have to load it. They can preload it. So, and if you use linode.com/Rob Braxman, you're going to get a $100 credit that you can apply to the first 2 months of service. Okay. Okay, let me. Why doesn't this chat have anything to do with the subject? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you guys were talking about because I wasn't looking at the chat except to glance at it. So, yeah. Okay. So, anyway, as I was saying, there's just built-in trust. I can't believe. And some good people actually made these comments on my last video, telling me about the security of AirTag, for example, and how they've randomized or made the numbers, the identity of the user secure. And of course, that is easy. Yeah, all you have to do is do a hash of the AirTag serial number, so you don't know the actual AirTag. At least the phone user will not get the data, and they have the hash. But this is immaterial. They can hash all that. They can encrypt all the legs. It doesn't matter because when it gets to the final position, which is the Apple server, it's not encrypted there. There it is. It's stored where they know exactly where it came from, the location, and then who to match it to. So forget about this hashing business. The same as with hashing of CSAM. So let me just talk about CSAM for a moment, just to prove the fishiness of all this. The client-side scanning is very, very sophisticated. If used properly, as I explained in 2 videos ago, if used properly, client-side scanning can actually be a robot. You're turning you're turning your phone into a robot. And you can actually give the phone instructions, turn on the camera, look at the environment, and have it look at the environment like a Tesla and see how many people there are, what are the people doing, are they jumping, are they walking, are they talking, what are they talking about, are they male, female, children, adults, what are they wearing. You could put the AI to do that because, like you can see, Tesla can do that, and many other programs can detect a lot of the stuff. You can teach the AI a lot of the stuff in the images. I had a video about the AI talking about this and how the AI can judge clothing, for example, if you're wearing clothes or not. Can you imagine the value of that? So this is such a sophisticated technology, and why would Apple waste its time to do this technology simply for CSAM? I have to tell you, that is like really, really suspect. I mean, my goodness, it's like using a bulldozer for an ant. I mean, the power of what they're actually brought the iPhone to the next generation of surveillance, putting so much surveillance power in the phone. And you say, well, we really need to bring this out. This is very important because we need to catch CSAM violations. It's like, wow, really? What was that required for profitability? Did they have a shareholder meeting and the shareholder said, we want CSAM, we want CSAM? Was there an uproar from Apple fanboys saying, we want CSAM? I mean, get rid of CSAM. We want to get rid of CSAM. No CSAM. Did you see this uproar? What exactly triggered the move that they said, oh, this is really important. We got to do this. We got to do this. And it's so easy to do it. They don't even have to do any of this. All they had to do was scan iCloud. Done. They don't even have to tell anyone. Scan iCloud, done deal. But no, we're not going to scan iCloud. We're going to put client-side scanning. Suck. Device scanning. Suck. Why the hell do you need to do that when you have zucking iCloud? Now you tell me what the motives are, but that alone is so suspicious to me. That gotta be more. Gotta be more. Okay? It's gotta be more. And let's not talk about Google. Google, by the way, if you talk badly about Google, they really make sure the video doesn't do too well. Some of my last few videos talked about Google and it was not promoted beyond my subscribers, obviously. So we're not going to talk about Google. You just guess about Google. Google's good. Google's very good. They're not like Apple. Okay? I just want that to be clear. Google is good. It is not like Apple. Okay? So I may have to focus on Apple and Facebook. So, if I'm going to survive on this platform, there's going to be some limitations on what I could discuss because, I told you about the Moonshot CV and all that, and wow, so few people saw that video. Twice now. I did that video twice. So a year apart, that same video topic, I changed the topic a little bit, but the same kind of content twice. The second time was even worse than the first one. So at least the first one got 40,000 views. The second one, I don't think did it even get 15,000 views, which is, for me, it's extremely low. The average for my videos are like, 40,000 the first week. It's like, so a lot of my videos in the last month, I think like 15,000 views because they don't like the topic. So Google's good. Google's good. Yes. Google is good. So everybody say that because, they do read the comments. So Google is good. Okay. I can talk about Facebook, the evil of Facebook and evil of Apple, but Google is good. So to be honest with you, if I were to choose between the evils, which one is the most evil company, I'm gonna say of the ones still around, I would say the most evil one is Facebook. So when they lost money, I was like, okay, that is so good. But I haven't talked about them because my videos about them get censored. So it's so hard to talk negatively about Facebook. Maybe they have a partnership with the Goog. I don't know. The Algoog, the Elgoog or the Algoog. You love Google, Tiffany. Okay, so yeah, Google is good. Yes. So YouTube is good. YouTube is good. So yeah. Google is mother, Google is father. So, did I tell you about browser isolation? We need to review that later on. Anyway, before let me continue with the side topic here. So, this is the Brax phone, and we're down into the final stages of this. I was waiting for updated icons. I have not, the icons are not updated yet because this is going to be in color. So we're finishing it up. Okay. But I want to just answer some questions that apparently I didn't answer the last time well, because I just got the phone and I actually didn't really get a chance to review the contents very well because I just kind of did it on the spot here, kind of like an unboxing. So this is the power supply I demonstrated last time, but I didn't know how this worked. So it's actually a lot fancier than I thought. So for the ones in the US, let me do the US version. So there. Okay, so that's the US plug. Okay. Now, somebody said, okay, what about EU? Okay. EU plug. Then somebody said, well, what about the UK? And then it only has that. But actually, I didn't know this, but there's a thing here. It flips. This flips. And it gives a third plug, and of course that's not going to that's not going to work in the UK because it's straight. I didn't know this, but you can actually flip this. So there, you can flip it. So now you have what I believe is a UK plug. So this actually works everywhere. Now, the reason that it comes with a special USB charger is because some of you may be hacked by using different chargers. So if you go into an airport and you do a shared USB charger, you could get hacked. So this is a more secure version by having your own plug that you can rely on anywhere you go. So this works on every platform. This is the other question that I got. Does it have the power cord? Yes, I didn't show it because I didn't think I need to show a power cord, but there's the power cord. Okay, and I told you it came with a case, so that's where the case was. Okay, and some of you were theorizing what model this is, and it's a custom model, like I said. However, the motherboard is a MediaTek. Oh goodness, how do you memorize the numbers of each of these models? I don't have it memorized, but let me just read it out to you. Because I just somebody said, well, you couldn't tell us the exact model of the CPU, so therefore I'm not going to buy it because you must be lying. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, it's a MT6771, meaning MediaTek octa-core ARM Cortex A73 2.1 gigahertz plus an A53 2.0 gigahertz. And then it has, the GPU is a Mali G72 900 megahertz. The screen is FHD plus, and it's 4 gigabytes of RAM. So, but it has 128 gigabytes of storage, and you can have your own SD card. Plus, you can do a combination of dual SIM with no SD card. So the second slot can either be an SD card or another SIM. So for those of you who watch my videos on 2FA, 2FA was a big topic for me. Now you can do 2FA on one phone. So you can put 2 SIM cards on the one phone. Okay, the camera is very, very nice. It comes with actually quite a nice piece of software for the camera. It's very, very nice piece of software to control the camera. It's not, in fact, the Lineage OS one is very, very basic. This one has very nice controls for everything from DRO, HDR, panorama, different resolutions. The standard resolution for the photos is 11.8 megapixels. The actual camera resolution is 48 megapixels. That's camera resolution, not the storage. And then the front one is 12 megapixels. But the stored image is 12 megapixels, which is, I believe that's 6K. Is that a 6K image? It's higher than 4K. So that's a standard image size. What else? It comes with 4,500 milliamp hour battery. And see here. Like I said, it comes with Face ID, fingerprint, or you can just do the pattern if you don't want to use any of those. You can use that. So the OS it comes with, the OS is Brax OS. So you can actually see when it boots up, it says Brax OS on there. The programmers who are working on the Brax OS are doing a really fine job with this. I'm very, very impressed with the work that's been put on here and the quality of the OS. Definitely better than Lineage OS. Definitely better than Lineage OS. So that's all I'm going to say right now, because I'll publish some more details about it as we work on the details, because I don't know how far we're going to be able to get, with the changes because of the time. But we're going to do OTA updates as we make more changes to the OS. We're going to do OTA, or over-the-air updates, so that phone will get OTA updates, which I can control, our company can control here. So we can send you updates as often as we want. Okay? So this is what is this phone? This is a Brax 2 phone. So this is the new phone that I'm going to be making available as degoogled Android AOSP running Brax OS. So this is going to be available on March 1. So that's the plan right now, March 1. Okay, again, icons are not done yet, so it's going to be $379 plus shipping. $379. It'll go on sale on March 1. There's no waiting list. We should have sufficient stock for that. Okay, so it's very reasonably priced. It'll be my cheapest phone, actually. You can still buy Pixels. Yeah, you can buy your own Pixel 5 for $500. Who's going to degoogle it for you? So you still have to pay somebody to degoogle it. Now, the difference with the Brax phone is brand new. So it comes with 1 year warranty. When I sell a Google phone like this Pixel 4a here, this is a Pixel 4a. So this is last year. So this phone is only a few months old. What was I saying about this? So we buy these used. So I cannot offer warranties on phones that are used, and that's most Google phones are used. So it's really great to have a Google phone that is not used. So this is brand new and comes with a warranty. Okay, so that kind of saves the headache. You're worried about what happens to the phone. Can we get parts? All that. So USB-C, yes, it's gonna be sold all over the world, obviously, as long as we can sell it there. Is this an infomercial? If you want it to be an infomercial, it can be an infomercial. So anyway, yeah. So it's just the questions I did not answer last week. Can you put Brax OS on Pixel 3? No. The Brax OS is specifically only for this phone model. So Brax OS gets, a Pixel gets Lineage OS by default. We can offer other OSs on Pixels in the future, but I got to be careful with that because of the tech support. If we install it, then you're going to call us for tech support, and some of these OSs are not that easy to use. Okay, so some of you, are quick to promote the custom ROMs that begin with the letter G, and you actually haven't tried it. If you actually try it, you might be surprised how stark it is. It may not be something that the average person may want to use. You may want to be kind of a special kind of person to use that. Okay. Hello, are you Filipino? I'm American, but yes, I'm of Filipino ethnicity. Bootloader unlocked, yes, but you don't need to mess with that. Yes, it's bootloader unlocked. Is Brax OS open source? At some point it will be published, but I think you need to give time for that because it has to be cleaned up. But yes, it will be published at some point. Screen resolution. Trying to I actually don't know the exact answer to that because resolution has to deal with, if I remember right, it's 1080 this way, which is very high resolution, because 1080 usually is the whole screen. So if I recall the number, it was like 2000 something downwards and then 1080 this way, but I got to verify that. I couldn't memorize that one. And it's not listed on my notes here, so I don't think I recorded that. Okay, I'll get that number, but obviously the resolution is very, very good. It's more than sufficient for this. One of you asked a question about, can you watch movies on this? Absolutely. In fact, I ran Netflix on it. GPU handled it extremely well. Very, very smooth video. So there's certainly no struggling to run Netflix on it. So no problem with that. I was able to run Netflix very well. You can record videos, no problem there. It has even motion stabilization built in, autofocus and all that. Who's the person you're talking to on Signal? New pipe is down. You can try New Pipe Legacy. That might work. So I can't, help you with, I don't represent New Pipe. So sometimes when YouTube makes a change, they go down. Does it have a voice recorder app? You can install your own voice recorder app. I've done that in the past. That's just standard stuff. So I don't know if it comes with. Yeah, it comes with a voice recorder app. There is one. I see it right there. It comes with a microphone icon. Yeah, it says voice recorder on it. RAM is 4 gigabytes, but storage is 128 gigabytes. Not counting the SD card, you can obviously put an SD card that's very large. Okay. Do you have an opinion about Line? Yeah, expensive. Micro G is installed, pre-installed. Hotspotable? Absolutely. All of the Google phones are. Yeah, you can see the option for hotspot. It's in the settings. I can see it. And Wi-Fi, yeah, hotspot, you can read it. Okay, so it says hotspot on there, and then you, yeah. Wi-Fi calling as well. Voice over LTE, yes. So SD card, dual SIM, yes. Does it do screen sharing to TV? I mean, you're asking for way too much here. I'm not aware of it being able to do screen sharing to TV. You may need some device to attach to it. Does it come with Facebook? I'm happy to say this is one of the few phones where it doesn't foist Facebook on you. You buy a Google phone or something and then they include Facebook on there. There's not anything on here. Any Linux OS options. The problem with Linux OS options is they're not in sync yet with the hardware. So the hardware is often incompatible. So they have power management problems. I have, in my possession, I have a Librem 5 and which doesn't work. It was given to me. My own Librem 5 hasn't arrived, the one I ordered, but somebody gave me one, Librem 5. It doesn't boot. I have a Pine phone, which boots. A Pine phone runs fine, but the battery doesn't last. So because of that, it's really hard to recommend these for real life use. Whereas the battery for these, will last typically a couple days. So, yeah, a couple days for this. Like any normal octa-core CPU. Yeah, this is a de-Googled phone. Can you do screen sharing of you hotshot to another device? Hell, have no idea. They want to give what? Aurora Store is pre-installed. Thank you, Jake. You're messing with you. We know there's no Zacking Zakbook. You love my ham radio video. I haven't been able to do too much ham radio because nobody watches it. Yeah, all my ham radio gear is on the boat. Now, my boat moved, so I got to reassess my antennas for that. I hate getting rid of Zakbook. Okay. Anyway, this is quite a nice, less expensive, powerful, de-Googled option. That is new. Like I said, it's kind of rare to find a de-Googled phone that's new that is of this quality. So this is it's a very good quality phone, and the camera is definitely better than a OnePlus 7. The camera is better also than a Moto G7 Plus, as far as I'm concerned. I think the CPU is faster on a OnePlus 7 and a Moto G7 Plus. I think the CPU may be faster on those, but in terms of actual use, that's not a factor. I've been using it and it's just not a factor at all. So videos, everything seems to run just great. You know this. You know I'm staking a reputation on here because obviously my name on it. It's a Brax. It's a Brax phone. So if this doesn't work, then obviously I take the hit. So as usual, I always sell with a 30-day money back guarantee, and it does come with a 1-year warranty. So if it breaks, we can take care of it. So your phone is de-Googled. Would you consider shooting a vid on your Brax phone? Uh, you mean like for YouTube use? No, I don't even shoot a vid using my iPhone. I'm not. No, absolutely not. No, I shoot my videos on a $3,000 Sony phone. More than that, 35, almost $4,000 Sony phone. So no, I'm going to use the Sony phones. It has 1.4 f 1.4 wide angle lens at 14 millimeter focal length size, and you're telling me I'm going to use a phone? No, I'm going to use the fancy device. So no. Can you shoot video for family use? Absolutely, especially since it has storage. But for my YouTube videos, no. Now this one here is not super fancy camera. This is a Sony APC camera. So this is kind of one level down. This is probably a $2,500 phone. I mean camera. But the one I use for the regular videos is a $3,500 camera. Not counting accessories, because I got, one day I can give you a tour of the equipment, because there's a lot. There's a lot of side products. There's a external recorder, and I mean, yeah, it's kind of complex to set up. He means for camera, expensive. Sorry, what? New pipe on Brax 2 is de-Googled. I'm not. I got to decide if I'm going to put new pipe on, because do I put new pipe or Vanced? Then Vanced stopped working. I was trying to decide new pipe versus Vanced, and then because which one is more reliable, and then Vanced stopped working too. No, it doesn't come with any of those apps. It comes with a standard apps that I install, which includes things like Orbot, NetGuard, OpenVPN, BraxMe, K9 email, Signal, MicroG, Aurora Store, Osman, OpenStreetMaps. Yeah, that's it. And then you can install whatever apps you want on top of that. I only have Vanced because I can comment. So can I get Google Maps? No, you cannot get Google Maps. So you use OpenStreetMaps. Actually, you can run Google on the browser. Does F-Droid come on that phone? Yes, F-Droid is pre-installed. Orbot is the official Tor project for using Tor on a phone. Do I have to use your VPN? Yes, I use Amazon. Actually, this is my other de-Google phone. This is not the Brax phone, but this is the one I'm using because it's ready. The other one, I can't use it yet because the icons and everything's going to change. So I may have a week before I can switch to it. But this is my regular daily driver, which is a Pixel 4a de-Googled, and I have Kindle on there. I also have Prime Video. I have Netflix, Spotify, bunch of boating apps. What else? Boating things. Waze runs. Waze is preloaded, even though it's Google. We do preload that. What about Uber or taxi? You got to use the browser. For Uber, you use a browser. Okay. Or Google, the Google for WPA3. Is WPA3 really relevant? No. WPA3 is what? 4 years late now? No, it's not relevant because nothing can use it yet. No, WPA3 is definitely not here yet. Can you post a feature list on your Brax.me site? Yes, it's on the store already. I'm updating that on the store as we go. Freedom Convoy. Thank you, David S. Are you a trucker? Are you a trucker? No Gmail. You could install Gmail on K9, but I'm not going to recommend that. Did I lose? Hold on. I have Signal here. Use a browser for everything. Well, the browser will work. How to set up your phone for Verizon. It's not going to work. For Verizon, you need to use a Pixel. So for Verizon, you're stuck with Pixels. Verizon is such a pain. Okay? Verizon's the only one with compatibility issues in the entire world. Every phone works anywhere in the world except for Verizon. So my advice to you is, if you intend to travel anywhere around the world, don't use Verizon. Because otherwise, it's so easy. You know, if you're on T-Mobile, you can bring your phone and work anywhere in the world, but not Verizon. So, do you like doing Thursday live stream or Friday? Well, I'm going to tell you that it's a little bit more freeing to free up my Friday because it's like really stressful to do it on Friday. So, my schedule's changed there, and the I don't know about Wise products. I think Wise isn't that purchased by Amazon too? So anyway, the problem is doing these videos, especially the short video one, the shorter video. So okay, I see it disconnected for a moment there. Will the Brax 2 phone work in Canada? Absolutely. Why not? Okay, hold on. Signal slowing down here. Okay. Very unsteady signal. Very, very unsteady signal. So let me just wait a moment here. Wait for it to settle down. Watching it, and it's okay. It's okay. Settling down now. Oh, nope. Yeah, it's very, very unsteady here. That's the problem, because of the hours. There's a lot of people using the internet watching movies right now. Yeah. Let me see if it recovers here, okay? Yeah. If it doesn't recover, we'll stop it. Okay, just waiting for it to recover. It's very unstable. Very unstable signal. Okay, still waiting. Sorry about that. Well, can't control it. So I'm sending 4K to Google and it doesn't like it. Well, not really. Okay, I'm gonna. I don't know how much this will be workable here. I mean, it's really unstable. It hasn't even been steady for 15 seconds. If you can at least hear the audio, okay, I can answer questions that relate to audio. Okay, the video requires much more bandwidth. The audio does not, so maybe the audio will survive. I've got a Pixel 2 from Verizon. Pixel 2 is not supported by any degoogling. So, yeah, forget my picture. Just listen to the audio. Okay, just listen to the audio. We'll kind of ignore the video. No, I can't lower resolution in the middle of a broadcast. I'm looking at your comments though. What are your thoughts on Calyx OS? I actually have not used Calyx OS. I've used the other one. I will install Calyx OS this week. So, so I can see if it's usable. Steve, you cannot do that. If I drop my resolution, I have to stop the stream. I can't do it in the middle of a stream. There, Vinay BV. There is no answer to you. You have to de-Google. You have to watch my de-Google videos because I can't explain it. No, there's nothing you cannot fix. You cannot fix a Android phone and say, I took out the Play Store and I did all this, and suddenly it's okay now. No, not gonna work. Not going to work. I mean, all the telemetry with Firebase is all in there. They replaced Android open source project code. They replaced it and they put in spying code. So how are you going to do it? It's impossible. Okay, so there is no way to do it. So don't ask me that you can do that. I have a video trying to explain that, a couple of them. What you can do if you want to, make your Android phone less spyable. Do you use Linux for your desktop? I use a laptop. I use Linux, yes. I use Pop OS right now. I have multiple computers. I have a Windows. I have a Windows 11 machine that I use for rendering the videos. So that's a video machine. But my daily driver is Pop OS. So Linux. So my daily driver is Linux. I also have MacBooks and I got everything. I mean, for what I do, I got to run everything. Will I get Zuck if I use my Google phone to hotspot to a Google phone? The Google phone will be zucked. The Google phone will not be zucked. There's almost nothing you can do to zuck a de-Googled phone. It's pretty unzuckable. Okay? Tanya cannot hear a word. Video's not bad here on the East Coast. What is the best de-Google apps? You should go discuss that on Brax Me with the community, and then you can see what people's opinions are. We preload a given set of apps, but over time people have made many preferences. Screw Windows 11. Well, I need it because I need to use it to render the video. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is only going to work for me for Windows. I tried it on a Mac. Very bad performance. I have an NVIDIA card, and the M1 MacBook was way too slow. I think I rendered the video in half an hour, which took the Windows 11 with NVIDIA 5 minutes. Okay, so for obvious reasons, I'm going to stick with the Windows. Okay, do you worry about being logged into email accounts on a phone when it's confiscated? They control all those accounts then. Yeah, I would, Big Yoshi, but you see, I don't really put much in my phone. I don't put much in my phone. Unlike you, I don't put much of my email on the phone either. Is there anything going on in Brax Me after your vid? I don't know. You're going to have to ask the people. There's always activity in Brax Me. There's how many people are in Brax Me? I think 64,000 people, I think, are in Brax Me. Win 11 comes with TikTok. I've never seen TikTok on my Win 11. Yeah, I don't put much on my phone. I put everything on my computer and I rely on the cloud. I use Brax Me a lot. So, if you want to be safe, you log out of Brax Me, then all of your data is gone. Okay, what do you know about the data broker? I don't know the context of that. That could mean so many things. Do you think Google actually deletes things when we tell them to? Big Yoshi, that is a good question. That is a good question. Like, Facebook says they don't actually delete, that they, archive it. So, what does Google actually admit to? See, they can, again, parse the words to make you think that you can trust them. I bought this phone, but after 3 days, I got the message, hacked by Chinese. What does that mean? You're on Brax Me. Does the Brax 2 have mono or stereo head speakers? Will it run apps that require non-rooted phones? It's not rooted. The Brax phone is not rooted. Okay. However, it's de-Googled. So, I don't know what that means to. It is not rooted. I have posted things on Brax Me and never got replies. Well, maybe it wasn't something that somebody can answer. I can't be the one answering it on Brax Me. There are many people who answer over there. But there are, some busy spots where people are there all the time, like the community chats. If you're elsewhere, I don't know how busy that's going to be. Any comments on Synology NAS? Does it offer good security? Yeah, I don't see why not. But the one option that I might recommend is to think about using Nextcloud in a home system. That's not so easy to implement. So, I may make that available. Maybe program it, or we do a service. You buy one of those Intel NUCs, those small mini computers, and then we preload it with Nextcloud, and then kind of like a de-Googling service. I'm thinking about offering that. You can't be on Facebook per court order. Well, thank the court. Can you please redesign Brax Me? No, not going to happen. Why? You want it to look more like Facebook? People say, well, I don't get how Braxby works. Well, it's not going to go look like Facebook. So, how hard can it be? There's chat. You find whoever you want to talk to, you put their handle, you start a chat. There's a section on the top of chats that says community, and then you select that, and there's some community chats. That's basically all you have to do, really. The rest is not really all that big of a deal. If you don't use any other feature, who cares? The main feature you need to use is a chat. Now, you can upload photos, you can do all that, you can use blogs and other things on there. Brax.me is horrible. Then don't use it. It's a free service, for goodness sake. If you don't want it, go to Google something. In fact, go to Facebook. Will you start Brax book? So no, Brax.me is not going to look like Facebook. If you're used to Facebook and it doesn't look like Facebook, sorry, it's the way it is. Brax.me is not a social media like Instagram, where you get to show off to everyone, and you don't really care about other people. All you do is talk about yourself. Well, that's not that platform. Brax.me is a way to communicate, with other people with similar interests, and that's it. It's not nothing terribly complicated. So if you don't like it, it's okay. What do you think of the reason is for government to spy on us when our online activity? Well, that should be obvious. Alienated. Control, obviously. If they can influence you, they can influence your vote. They can change the world to whatever they want it to be, whatever their vision is. I don't know what their vision is, but apparently not our vision. Can you create a simple, safe text messaging application? Yes, there is one already. It's called XMPP, which I highly recommend. The app on Android is called Conversations. I offer a XMPP service called xmpp.brax.live for free. You can use it with the Conversations app. If you're on iPhone, even though I talk badly about iPhones, if you're on iPhone, you can use the app called Monal, M-O-N-A-L. That is XMPP on an iPhone. On an Android, it is called Conversations. On a PC, it is, what is the PC app, guys? Somebody drawing a blank here? Somebody can tell me the XMPP app on the PC? I'm sure some of you will tell me. So I offer an XMPP service. It's free. You can set up your own XMPP server. So, yeah. No, not Pigeon. No. If the Thursday live stream gets lagged, maybe try move it to Friday. Maybe free up your work schedule. No, it's really hard. Friday is actually worse. Can Pigeon be XMPP client? I do not know, Pigeon. Are all your servers running in Switzerland? No. My servers are all over the world. I have servers everywhere. I have servers in all of the US, Canada, Germany, UK, Singapore, Japan, Australia. What did I miss? What did I miss? So, and then, every part of the USA. When will email be available? When will email be available? I have email service on Brax.me. No, it is not compatible with iMessage. Nothing is compatible with iMessage except for iMessage. That's the whole point. You have to leave these platforms. If you want to use something that can work kind of invisibly, where you can mix SMS and have more secure conversations, the only thing I can suggest is Signal. Gajim. Gajim is the desktop version. Conversations is not paid. Conversations needs an XMPP server. I told you I offer a free one. You can use Conversations, and when it says use an XMPP server, I just told you mine, and it's free. xmpp.brax.live. It is free. You do not have to pay for it. It is not as fully featured as the one with Conversations, because you pay and they can do unlimited attachments and all that. Mine is more basic, but it's great for communication. Do I have servers in China? No. My closest server to China is Singapore. So I have Japan and Singapore and Australia. That's my server farm in that part of the world. Okay. Okay, so what's your opinion? I don't know. Okay, so I'm running out of time here. The app is showing $3.99. This is what you do with Conversations. You load it on your Android using F-Droid. Conversations is zucking free on F-Droid. It's pre-installed on all my Google phones. Pre-installed. Okay, so on the other hand, it's a good app. Pay them the $3.99. I mean, have them make money. It's okay if they make money. xmpp.brax.live. Prison Island. What is the first, second, and third most important thing to do? Well, simple. De-Google your phone. Use a VPN. And what's the priority for the third one? I probably would say remove your real name from the internet where you can. I don't have Starlink. Do you have 5 million insurance for breaches? For corporate breaches on your phone? Then don't buy my phone. It doesn't have that. Okay, so hopefully, do you have a DIY de-Google kit? De-Googling is, I have to hire people to de-Google these phones. I have staff that de-Googles the phones. Obviously, somebody has to pay staff to do this. So, I can't do this for free. It takes a long time to de-Google a phone. One person can only do so many a day. So, it's expensive. So you can see that, you can do it yourself. It might take you weeks to figure it out. And so the convenience is that you don't have to spend weeks trying to figure it out. We figure it out for you, and that's it. How can we get car insurance without giving them too much info? Well, how do you file taxes to the IRS without giving them lots of info? There's many things we can't do. Sat phone doesn't work indoors, so you can do that, but it doesn't work indoors. Okay? 1 more minute. But you have to de-Google your staff. They could be spies. Can we do this on non-Zuck platform? Well, let's hide, in plain sight. Well, of course you can de-Google in 30 minutes. Can you install apps in that 30 minutes as well? Because it's not just de-Googling. You have to OEM unlock, de-Google, put the apps in, and then format it. So it takes a long time. Okay, guys. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a genius, then obviously you don't have to pay for it. Nobody's asking you to pay me to do it. I do the service for those who can't do it. Okay, so good night, guys. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. I learned so much from watching this, and that's why I do it. Thank you.